What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 6. In this video, we're going to be talking about some small changes you can make in the next few weeks to get super strong. Let's go.
I'll be your light. Ooh, be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light.
All right, so some of the frustrations that we see is most people just don't know how to get strong. They see it as super difficult and such a big process. They also can't stay consistent. They don't have a plan to make sure that from day to day they know exactly what to do. And they're also feeling a little weaker than they used to, a little slower. And especially during this time, it's a really tough time to work on some of that progress. But as a result, you feel like you're not making a lot of progress. You're feeling a little sluggish, and you feel like you're in the same place you were 3 months ago. But I think there's a huge opportunity here, and I think that if you have an easy to follow plan, I want to make this as easy as possible. It'll help you to become a little bit more consistent, and you'll know exactly what you need to do from day to day to make this happen. And obviously, you're going to be a lot faster, stronger, more powerful. Your mental game's going to be really good, and now you're going to be super proud of the work that you've done over the last 3 months. So those are my reasons for why I want to get strong and work on my strength, but I'd love to hear from you guys. What are the reasons you guys want to get strong? Leave them in the comments below. So the first point is to 3-step your strength. You got to have 3 steps. The first one is to actually build the muscle. Then with that muscle that you build, you have to strengthen it. And then finally, you can kind of retest or figure out where your capacities lie for the next phase. Back when I started, I was moving really well. I was able to be fast, but one of my coaches said, "Hey, what is it gonna take to get you on a strength cycle?" And I said, "Man, I don't really have any time. I have a wife, I have to be home, I have to do all this, I have work." But he saw a lot of the potential in what a stronger me could be. And spending 20 minutes twice a week wasn't a lot to ask. In fact, I did it in lieu of the warm-ups. I got there maybe like 10 minutes early, and then into the warm-ups, I started doing a little bit more strength in order to get a little bit stronger. That kind of development led from, I was super weak. Remember this, guys. The first back squat I ever did, I maxed out on, was 215 pounds, which is not bad. I thought my legs were pretty strong for that. Over time, without doing any kind of strength cycle, I was able to get that up to 245 pounds. So 30 pounds just by working out generally without a strength plan, by just doing just some conditioning here and there. And then once I started a really dedicated strength cycle, I went from 245 pounds all the way up to 315 pounds, which was awesome. I was super excited about that. I took off another 12 weeks and then started the same program again and got that from 315 to 365 pounds. So in about 6 months, I went from 245 to 365, 120 pound difference. Such big improvement. Again, I followed a 3-phase cycle. Building your strength, you got to make sure you have 3 phases. One is the building the muscle, which is probably the first 6 weeks of a 12-week cycle, so half of it. And then for the next 4 to 5 weeks, you really want to strengthen that muscle you have. This is called the strength phase, obviously. And then you have the peaking phase. So this is the part where you kind of retest, or you make sure that you can go above and beyond what you just did. This is also like buying a car. It takes a long time. The first few weeks are just simply researching. And this is kind of like that strength building phase. And then you finally narrow it down to the brands or the types of cars that you actually want. And then it takes another little bit to make sure that you actually buy the car. The next point is to make it tough. So there is a lot of science behind how many reps you should be doing. And in the beginning, you should be doing somewhere in that 8 to 12 rep range. In the middle, during the strength phase, you should be doing somewhere in that 3 to 5 set range. And then at the end, some ones to make sure that you can establish where you are, see some growth. And when we say make it tough, this is making each set feel like you have 1 to 3 reps left in the tank. So if you are on rep number 7, 8, 9, and you may have been able to squeeze out a few more, that's a good set. Whereas if it's way too light and you can do 100 of them, then you're really not seeing any growth. Conversely, if it's too heavy and you're grinding out every single rep and you're going to failure every time, you're gonna fry your central nervous system. And I remember a few years ago when I was dedicated, I actually pushed my numbers and worked off of a 1 rep max that was beyond what I actually could do, but it over time, it just fried my nervous system. I was super lethargic. I just didn't want to work out anymore. And it really paid a lot of negative dividends on that. I compare this to like eating. Whenever you have a big meal in front of you, there's that sweet spot of, hey, this is where I'm going to be comfortable eating. I know when I didn't eat enough, and I know when I'm good. I also really know when I eat way too much, I'm uncomfortable. There's a lot of regret there. That's the same. You want to make sure you go until you have that, hey, I'm full, and that's it. So make sure you have 1 to 3 reps left in the tank for each set. The last point is to love your workout. You want to find a program that you can adhere to for a long time to ensure long-term success. One of the best examples I have is a girl, let's call her Sally. I would give her lots of plans and she would do them, but like for some reason, she just wanted to change different things all the time. So the biggest thing is that you find something that you can actually adhere to, because the last thing you want to do is start and stop and never see any progress because you didn't see the program all the way through. Now, there is a lot of evidence as well of being able to get optimal results. So if there's a scale from 0 to 100, I would rather you get 90% of the results by doing something you love rather than 100% of the results and you start to hate it over time. That just makes no progress. So if you're looking at like a pyramid, the bottom of it is going to be consistency. You got to be able to be adherent to the program that you have. Above that, you want to look at your volume, your intensity, and your frequency, the reps and sets that you actually do. And then on top is finally the progression by which you actually do it. You can't do the same types of sets every single time. So the 3 tips that you actually need to do to take advantage of this. Step number 1, get a plan. This is so important. If you have something tangible that you can look through and see where your progress is made, whether that's a journal, a stack of papers, or something on your phone that outlines your roadmap to getting stronger over the next 8 to 12 weeks, that is so powerful rather than shooting in the dark. Number 2, schedule your days. Having a plan week to week is so important whenever it comes to strength training and being consistent. If you can dedicate Sunday and Wednesday or whatever days you want, Monday and Thursday, however it is that you want to work on your strength, that is going to see a ton of progress. If you start saying, hey, I'm going to do this one, I don't know when the next day I'm going to work out is, then that's going to lead to a lot of inconsistency throughout your workouts. Number 3, this is going to be super important, is to get a buddy. Having some accountability, having someone to go through this journey with you is such a powerful process and a powerful component of making sure that you can go from 0 to 100 as fast as possible with the maximum amount of results. So things you can do right now are to decide what you want out of your workouts. Is it to get strong? Is it to get powerful? Is it to get faster? Is it to get stronger? All of these apply to any kind of goal, whether that's fat loss, whether that's getting faster, whether that's running a marathon, whether that's lifting 1,000 pounds. You need to have a plan. You need to set aside and plan your consistency, and you need to get a buddy. So listen, guys, getting stronger does not have to be complicated. You just need the right roadmap. You need to figure out your plan to actually make it happen. So if this helped, guys, leave a comment and let us know what resonated with you the most. And we'll see you guys on the next video.
Be your light.